Hello, everyone. I'm recording from my home because we made it through another school year. And unfortunately, I left the books that I've been reading. I didn't have time to um, record because last 2 weeks of school is insane, but I have been reading. That's how I wind down at night. So I'm just gonna have some copies of the covers because I forgot and I left them in my classroom. Okay, so the first one I read earlier in the month was Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Now, I was like the one person in the world that did not go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over Little Fires Everywhere. I was like, okay, it's a nice plot, I guess, female empowerment, but I just didn't understand why everyone just loved it and it was turned into a series. I didn't get it. This one I loved, however. Um, it starts out with, and I'm not spoiling it because the first sentence is Lydia is dead. Now, Lydia is the middle child, I guess, the oldest daughter, the middle child of this family in Ohio. It's in 1977, and she is found dead, and her family doesn't know it. When they find out, the the circumstances are mysterious. Her body is found in the lake in town, the one lake in Ohio. The rowboat that the town owns is kind of floating along. That's why people went to the lake, but she didn't know how to swim. So her family said that just doesn't make sense. So it's looking like a homicide. What I like about this plot is you start out with she's dead. Let's figure out what happened, who killed her. And it's like I don't want to say a rose, but it's more like a peony. You know, the flowers that have multiple petals, but the layers and they just open up, and everybody has these secrets, hence Everything I Never Told You. And they just all come together, and it's just wonderful. You just learn something new about a character every page. So let's go through the characters. So, like I said, Lydia, teenage girl, middle child, trying to um, trying to find out who she is. Her mother, Marilyn, puts a lot of pressure on her because Marilyn wanted to be a doctor. She's very intelligent. However, going to college, medical school specifically in the 1960s as a woman was not easy. So, because of that, she was limited, lots of sexism here. She falls for one of her professors, James Lee, Professor Lee. He's Chinese, so you get a lot of racism with him because he just wants to fit in. They have an affair. It's the 60s before Roe v. Wade. She gets pregnant, and both of their dreams are dashed. Okay, because they get married and do what they have to do in 1960s Ohio. So the theme, like I said, is consequences of not being who you want to be. And because Lydia and her siblings are half Chinese, we also see some racism there. Her older brother, Nap, um, valedictorian of his class, is going to Harvard, but you can tell while reading it that he's only going to Harvard to please his dad and like have continue the path that his dad could not go on. And then you have little Hannah, the youngest of them, and she just wants to be seen. But the author does a great job with her because if you pay attention to what she is seeing, she has more insight to the characters than the characters have themselves. And that's what happens when you're not the center of attention. You're able to observe a lot better. And then we have Jack, who is the primary murder suspect. And he wants to be able to be himself. And that's all I want to say about that because I don't want to ruin it. But it is 1977 Ohio. So that's what I'm going to let you know. And we do learn how Lydia died. Not going to spoil that. And it's just so heartbreaking because it didn't have to happen, but it did. So I really love this book a lot better than Little Fires Everywhere. And again, it just shows you that if you're not allowed to be who you want to be, it's gonna manifest itself in some other way. Bad choices, anger, self-inflicted wounds. So I love the message of this book and just how it just unfolded. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, but again, highly recommend Everything I Never Told You. Enjoy the summer.